welcome back. It's still Business Morning here on Channels Television. On February 2nd, Google and a consortium of leading African research institutions announced the launch of Waxal. I believe that's how it's called, a large-scale, openly accessible speech data set designed to catalyze research and build more inclusive AI technologies. The data set bridges the critical digital divide for over 100 million speakers by providing foundational data for 21 sub-Saharan African languages, including Hausa, Luganda, Yoruba, and Acholi. Let's get more on this now with the program manager at Google Research, Mr. Abdullahi Diak, to explain to us if we should be doing this in our local dialect this morning. Good morning, Mr. Diak, and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good. So, sounds interesting, obviously, taking the message down there to everyone's knowledge, you know, especially when you include the Nigerian language. It's an exciting one for a lot of Nigerians. But first of all, let me find out, how is it pronounced Waxal?
It's actually pronounced Wahal. It means speaking in Wolof, a language in Senegal.
Okay, so it's Wahal, even though it's spelled with an X.
Yes, exactly. So this is why we need language technology.
I know, right?
I'm very happy. Yes.
So how does this work? Everybody's using AI now. We use AI on our jobs and almost every part of our lives. So what's different? What does this bring to the table?
Yeah, the whole idea is, you know, whether you're a farmer in Uganda or you're a trader in Nigeria, you should be able to interact with technology in your own language. And so for that to happen, you need data for AI to work in the local language. And so for the past 3 years, we've been collaborating with leading institutions in Africa. We've been working with Media Trust Limited based in Abuja, and they've done a fantastic work in collecting speech data in Nigerian languages. And the whole idea is that this data will be used to train AI that works for us. I've been working in the AI space for the past 7 years, and what I can see is that, you know, we are going through an AI revolution. It has huge potential for the continent, but for this to really work, you know, there are several important pillars to tackle. And the number one is people, right? As our previous you know, guest. For AI to work, we need to have people trained with AI skills. And actually, our managing director, Alex Okosi, announced last year the commitment to train over 7 million people in Africa. And that includes Nigeria. We have a Gemini plan, which allows students to access AI advanced features for free. But for this to really work, it needs to work in the local languages. Infrastructure is definitely really important. You know, when you look at the Ikiano cable that lands in Nigeria and other countries, it is critical to have that infrastructure. And we've seen last year during the disruption with the cable cut, how critical it is. And the last pillar is really data, and this is what we've been trying to tackle through language technology and also computer vision. Those are also the two important things. The data set covers over 27 languages, and it can help over 100 million people to speak in their local language. But we know that for this to happen, there's a lot more work to be done. And I have to say, although we've been working on this data set, we're not the only one. You have Data Sense Nigeria that's been working on a project called African Voices, funded by the Gates Foundation. You also have AI Saturday Lagos, which is another organization who actually been working on this for many years, including a data set for food. So just to make sure that AI can understand our context, and food is so important. But in general, it's about enabling language technology, computer vision, so that Africa can be part of this AI revolution, whether it's robotics or automation of various industries.
So what problems,
in my own context, yes, sorry.
So, okay, maybe you should conclude, but I wanted to ask, what problem specifically do you expect this to solve?
It's supposed to address the language gap. If you look at the internet today, over 90% of the content is in English and other Western languages. And so if you are an innovator, an entrepreneur, or a builder in Nigeria or in Africa, it's actually quite difficult to build. You need data to build AI. So what we are trying to do is, with this massive data sets that includes over 14,000 hours of speech data, we hope that people will be able to interact in their own languages, as opposed to adapting to technology. It's really AI that should adapt to us, and that's the whole idea.
Interesting. AI should adapt to us and not the other way. But what do you see? What are the stages? I know you said, I believe you're just at the beginning stage, but what do you see for Waxal and the impact on the continent in the long term?
Yes, I mean, if we look at Nigeria and Africa, we are the youngest continent. And if you think about the next decades, most users of AI are not going to be in France or the UK, but they're going to be in Nigeria, right? And so data is one part of it, to train those AI models so that they can speak to us. And we hope to address that. And also for research, if you're a research scientist today, you need those data sets to improve AI for local languages. So this is what we are trying to address.
And do we have a timeline of what to expect? And does this mean that, for instance, if my grandmom in my village wants to interact with the system, give it command, and she can use my native language, and then she will get an output?
Yeah, I mean, this will definitely take a bit of time, but the idea is that this data set is open. Anyone can download it and work on it. Although it is owned by Media Trust Limited, they've released it as open source. So anyone can leverage it, including for commercial purpose. And so we look at not just Google, that obviously we want to integrate Nigerian languages into our products. But I think the exciting part is the whole ecosystem in Nigeria can now leverage this data set that we've released and other data sets from the community.
All right, thank you so much. And I believe a lot of people would want to try this out. It's Waxal, but it's spelled W-A-X-A-L. You want to speak to AI with your native language, you might just want to try. Thank you so much, Program Manager at Google Research, Abdullahi Diak, for your time.
Thank you. Have a nice one.